Other half, come here. Hold my.
No, we've actually nailed the brief, and I think we've done a really good job.
Yeah.
So, yay! So this week's theme is
no. Okay.
I want a beautiful face. I guess I'll do 3 days time.
Great.
Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Self-Portrait Week and it's my week for behind the scenes footage. It's something that I'm really excited about because I have had an idea for a few months now and this is the perfect opportunity to use it. As you can see, I'm back in my living room. I've got my studio lighting set up, but I've also got a backdrop just behind me. I don't usually use backdrops in my photography, but in this instance it works for the idea that I'm going to be running with. This will be something quite quirky, it might even be a little bit cliche, but it's something that I really wanted to run with because I feel like it kind of encompasses my personality within a picture. It is heavily edited, but that is just my style, so I'm gonna take that, especially on a week like Self-Portrait Week. I want to put my all into this picture. So hopefully what I have in the back of my mind transpires out to be a really nice picture. If it doesn't work, I do have a backup idea, but it's no way near as complex as this one. So fingers crossed this one works. Here's the setup I have today. There's my camera with the flash attached to the top of it. And my studio setup, so I have my 2 box lights there and a black backdrop. The other thing I'm using this week over any other week are a couple of props. So I have a old suitcase and this glittery star. This suitcase in particular I picked up from an antiques market, so if ever you're needing some kind of worn, battered, something with a bit of character to it, antiques markets are great. So I'm going to get started on my shoot now and I'll give you a bit of an update when I'm done. So I feel like that's me done for this week's composition. I've got quite a few photos there. Whether or not they're any good, I'm a bit unsure. I've got a gut feeling that they're not going to be the quality that I'm hoping for. I might throw this piece together and then at some point redo it again. As I say, because I'm in a living room, because it's such a small room, my lighting is just continuous lighting. It does work against me a little bit because I can't adjust the strength of those lights. My dress has a slight sheen to it as well, so I found that the light being so bright, it was bouncing off that as well. So fingers crossed I can work with it in post-production, but this is an idea that I might just have to come back to in the future. Fingers crossed I don't have to settle for my second option, but needs must if I have to. So I'm going to take all my photographs now and stick them on my computer and just see what I can come up with and see if they are any good. I'm going to be so gutted if this hasn't worked because I feel like it's quite a strong image to begin with. So we'll see.
Hello.
Hi! Hey!
How are you this week?
Oh, good, yeah. It's been quite an interesting week, this one, I think.
Yeah. 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 It's been okay. I think for me, I just like taking photos, not having photos of me taken.
That's how I usually am, and since lockdown, and obviously having your limitations,
Yeah.
I've kind of had to overcome that initially anyway, so I feel I'm quite comfortable with this one, and I feel like I've tried to do an idea that's been playing kind of on my mind for a little while, and I fingers crossed it's a little bit successful. So it's been an okay week, this one.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I just didn't like it. But what I've tried to do is get a photograph that I think shows me.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I think for me, whenever I try to do anything remotely sort of posed, I think because I'm not comfortable on the other side of the camera, it didn't feel natural in any way. It felt really forced.
Oh.
So I'm fairly happy with what I've ended up with as far as self-portraits go. So
it's really tricky. It's overcoming that, oh god, what do I look like? But nobody really likes their own picture.
I'm quite glad it's come this week because I think it gives you more freedom with photographs. You have to do that. Like some of yours through the weeks, they've been absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
And obviously they've had you in, and it's not.
Yeah, you don't need to go and search up a model for your pictures if you can.
Have confidence and actually, you know what works for you as well, and what you're happy with. So
I'm kind of adapting the way I pose in a picture now to kind of make my flaws look better. So what I'm less comfortable with showing in front of a camera, that sounded weird.
no.
Like, you know what you're most self-conscious of, and you know what you kind of don't want to show in a photo and what you don't want to be visible to everybody else and things like that. And I think, yeah, it comes with practice. That was what I found anyway. Like,
but I think as well, it's not necessarily what you think everyone else will see, because actually most people won't see the things that you see. You'll look at a picture and you'll think, what? Why does it look like that? Whereas, whereas most people won't actually look at a photo and think, why is her arm like that, or whatever it is. Obviously, because you're looking at you, and people always say that you're your own worst critic.
Yeah, of course, yeah. In saying that, like, it's not a case of I take one picture and I like it now. It's a case of I'm still taking quite a few pictures until I come up with one that I'm like, oh, it's okay. I can work with that.
It's getting a feel for what certain poses and positions will look like on a picture. I tried to get one that was sort of a bit more me, and on one of the occasions I went out with one of the dogs who was the smallest and tried to hold him, and my body was just all a bit funny. And honestly, nobody will ever see those photographs. At least I know for next time that standing holding the dog in that position does not work well for me.
Yeah, things that I've found, feet and hands can be so unflattering if they're posed wrong. So it's like my hand picture from a few weeks back. If you get it wrong, they don't look comfortable at all. So I tend to not wear shoes because you can stand on your tiptoes and it looks more flattering.
Yeah.
Little tricks like that I'm finding.
Still, for us, it's still definitely an area where we're learning things and new skills, whereas ordinarily I would never have taken a photograph myself.
Somebody had to this week. You've had to. Yeah. Do you want to go first, or shall I this week?
I really don't mind.
I'm going to switch my monitor on. The reason it's off at the moment is because I'm getting really bad glare in my glasses tonight, so I'm going to switch it on. So apologies that my glasses are suddenly going to go really white.
It's also shown me as well the sort of things that are actually quite useful to own, that they don't even have to be expensive. So things like a remote trigger, just so that you can position yourself where you want to be before you take the photograph, rather than doing a timer and running as fast as you can.
I've just seen the thumbnail of this, and it's you with your colour again, isn't it? I love it. That's so cool. That's amazing. You picked such a lovely location for that as well. That's so pretty.
I think I chose there because I just felt like it sort of framed itself quite nicely.
Yeah, definitely.
And shows, I mean, we even said in the first episode, didn't we, how I'm just quite outdoorsy with the dogs and everything.
Yeah, that is a picture of you. That's absolutely lovely.
Thank you.
Get that printed.
So I'm happy with how it's turned out, and I'm glad actually that I was looking at the camera, because I think in my head I wanted one where I wasn't really looking at the camera. Yeah. I was doing something else, but and Snook's made his debut in the snapping print.
Snook's the youngest of the three.
Yeah.
I love the composition of it, because you've not picked yourself right in the middle of the picture, like slap bang in the centre, because you've made yourself at the bottom of it. It makes the trees look really like they're towering over you as well.
I was slightly up on a hill.
Yeah.
So the camera was actually slightly lower anyway, which kind of made us look quite little, really, in comparison.
But it works. That works so nicely.
I just quite liked how it had the path, the trees. You still got a little bit of the sky in there. It just felt like it was a bit of everything, I think.
It's you in a picture. That's spot on. Love it.
I'm glad.
This is going to be a bit different. I'm really sorry.
Different is good though. I'm finding week on week we're very different every week anyway. So.
Very much so. But I think that works. I think it's really nice to see how two different people can take a subject that's the same so differently.
And literally, some weeks it's literally one word.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we go out and we just make something totally different. So that's what I like about this.
To say yours is so natural, this one's mine coming now.
Oh, I love it. How did you do it? How
So,
so can I guess? Are they like tiny stars?
it was one tiny star. In fact, I have it here.
Oh.
I made a little star.
Because I'm trying to picture.
And I set up my backdrop in the living room.
Yeah.
Which on the angle that I had it, I literally had barely any space to work in.
Oh, no.
And I took shot after shot after shot of me in different positions, holding a suitcase, not holding the suitcase, jumping, skipping, and then like composited them all together.
I really like that. And do you know what? You would never have guessed that you had little space to do. Like, you do look like you're in this huge area with all these stars hanging around you.
It was good fun. It was good fun. It's kind of how I imagined it in my head. It doesn't look quite as, I don't know, there's just something a little bit off with it to what I was hoping for, but I'm happy with, especially for the short amount of time we had to do it, I'm happy with what it looks like.
This is what we've just said before. You're your own worst critic. You had a picture in your head and you see a difference that you think should be there that maybe isn't, but for me who never saw what
you're seeing it first time.
Yeah, I don't see that at all. And I love the fact that you've got this like vintagey looking suitcase, and
that was kind of along the themes of Mary Poppins.
That's exactly what I thought when I saw it. I just thought all she needs is an umbrella.
Yeah.
No, I really like that. You should be proud of that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's lovely.
But I did have a second idea, and I mentioned it in my behind the scenes footage as well, that the second idea, if this didn't work, because I kind of felt really defeated at the time of making this, that I was like, oh, it's just not happening, not feeling it. It was late at night, it was getting later and later, and I was just like, this isn't working. The dress that I was wearing was really shiny as well, so every time I was using my lights, it was just shining off my dress, and I was like, just not feeling this. So probably end up going with my second option. The idea was to put makeup across my face, kind of like you know how warriors kind of do the war paint, and then have a mirror underneath me and spray my face with water, so it's going to be like a proper weird artsy kind of portrait. So I want to try it at some point, because that idea is in my head, but I was hoping that this one was going to work. And you know when you're so defeated and then you try it and you're like, actually I'm okay with it, and like
because we can take each week as we like, there's no reason that there won't be another theme down the line that works for. You know, it doesn't actually have to be a self-portrait, because that could work for reflection or eyes or water, anything really. No, I like that, but I love this. I think it's really nice.
You
I love it.
Again, I think it's been a successful week from both of us.
Yeah, I think considering, well, from my point of view, I was just dreading it. As soon as we pulled out, I was like, God, I don't think I can do it.
No, but hats off to you, for somebody who just doesn't feel comfortable in front of a camera. That is really nice. It's a lovely picture.
I felt more comfortable because, in a way, I felt like having Snook there where we were almost takes away from me a little bit. Yeah. It's not just like my face. Like, just this.
Right.
Oh, no, they're good.
So we have topped up a few more ideas in the box.
Yeah.
So it is now a little bit more full. And this week's one is
nature.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Nature.
Okay, I feel a bit happier about this.
You're at home on this one, so I, on the other hand.
I think you can interpret that anyway. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are going to be so different. I'll see you in 3 days' time.
Ciao. Bye.
Bye.